The building of a narrative is no more an academic exercise. It is an existential civilizational exercise. It is an imperative. There is no running away from it. Who are Hindus? What is the origin of the Hindavi civilization? Where do they come from? What are their geographical origins? Our complexions have become the subject of discussions. Our ethnicities have become subject of discussions. So I certainly agree with Mr. Punj on the point that the battle of narratives, perhaps in this subcontinent, owes its origins to the colonization project. Because until then, the invader who put stock in the sword was not interested in building a narrative. He was absolutely clear about what he was here for. But then comes, I think, at the fag end of the 17th century, the European colonizer, who realizes that this particular civilization cannot be won over by the strength of the sword or on the strength of the sword, and he realizes that I need to use the mind as the battlefield here. And therefore starts a battle of narratives, where the first ground of his experiment is your mind, is your dharana, is your sanskriti, is your origin. And dare I say this, I don't think we have come out of it yet. The layers of imposed wisdom of who we are and where we come from is a constant battle in every sphere today, from academia to politics to media to even legal discussions. I'll give you a simple example. Try presenting any legal philosophy which has its origins in Bharatiya sanskriti to any leading law school or a student of any leading national law school in this country. You will not succeed. Because a narrative has already been created about the regressive nature of Bharatiya sanskriti and Hindu philosophy, to the extent that people are not even willing to consume that we have had something to contribute by way of jurisprudence, by way of philosophy, so on and so forth. So at the most fundamental level, at the most practical level, forget the political level, at the level of education, at the level of formulating of basic policies, even at the level of dressing and whatnot, narrative has played a huge role. So what do? Do we employ the strategy of our brothers and sisters from the left and resort to propaganda? I would say that is certainly not the Bharatiya way. In my limited experience of dealing with students across the board on campuses across the country, what I have benefited from is the traditional Sanatan way of presenting facts and leaving the conclusion of truth to the audience. Put faith in facts seems to be the mantra that has worked, even in the most hostile of spaces. And my limited suggestion here is, if this battle of narratives must be won, we must look at our history, at our present, and towards the future. With facts, truth, logic, and morality as our constant companions, that is the only way we succeed.